Every time you book a flight, you expect a modern, safe, and fuel-efficient plane. You assume the global airline industry is a well-oiled machine. But what if I told you the entire sector is trapped in a multi-billion-dollar crisis, not because of high fuel prices, and not just because of a shortage of pilots, but because of a problem that started the moment they placed an order? Right now, airlines are waiting nearly 7 years for a new plane. They have a backlog of over 17,000 aircraft. This isn't just an inconvenience, it's a death spiral that is already costing the industry an estimated $11 billion a year. And that cost? It's being passed directly to you. Today, we break down the great aviation delivery crisis, the 4 ways it's financially crippling global carriers, the engineering failures behind it, and what it means for the price of your next ticket. It is basically the unprecedented capacity crunch. When an airline places an order with a manufacturer like Boeing or Airbus, they used to expect delivery in about 4.5 years. That was the average in 2018. Today, that wait time has spiked to nearly 6.8 years, with some long-haul models delayed by an astonishing 4 or 5 years just for certification. The result is a capacity crunch the world has never seen. Look at this graphic. The current order backlog has surged past 17,000 aircraft. That backlog now represents nearly 60% of the entire active global fleet, up from a historical norm of just 30 to 40%. At current production rates, that's equivalent to 12 years of work. Airlines can't grow. They can't modernize. Their hands are tied. And that leads directly to the massive financial penalties. Then comes the $11 billion bill, the financial disaster. The lack of new planes is forcing airlines to make a devil's bargain, keep their old, gas-guzzling jets flying longer. The International Air Transport Association, or IATA, estimates this supply chain crisis will cost the industry over $11 billion in 2025 alone. Let's break down where that money is going. First, the biggest hit, excess fuel costs at $4.2 billion. Airlines are operating older, less fuel-efficient planes for longer than planned. It's like having an old truck when you need a hybrid car. Second, increased maintenance expenses, costing $3.1 billion. An aging fleet breaks down more often and requires deeper, more expensive overhauls. We are seeing engine overhaul times and landing gear work increase by weeks, forcing planes to sit idle on the ground. Third, the panic has driven up higher leasing rates by $2.6 billion. With new planes unavailable, everyone is fighting for used planes. Lease rates for narrow-body aircraft have surged 20–30% since 2019. And finally, airlines are now spending $1.4 billion on surplus inventory, stockpiling spare parts just to hedge against the unpredictable global supply chain. They have to become hoarders just to keep their existing schedules running. In addition to this, there are the hidden costs and the green crisis. The impact goes beyond just the balance sheet, it hits operational strategy and, critically, the environment. Because they can't get new aircraft, the average age of the global passenger fleet has risen to nearly 12.8 years. Think about that. Your flight today is likely on a plane that is older than some of its flight attendants. This aging fleet directly torpedoes the industry's push for sustainability. New generation planes are a huge part of the solution, but with old planes staying in service, progress is stagnating. Historically, the industry improved its fuel efficiency by around 2% per year. Now, that improvement has slowed dramatically to barely 1% or less. The delivery crisis is officially a climate crisis for the aviation sector. And for you, the traveler? This capacity crunch means fewer seats, higher load factors, and limited network flexibility for airlines, which is the perfect recipe for permanently higher ticket prices. What is the root causes? It's not just Boeing or Airbus. So, why can't the two biggest manufacturers, Boeing and Airbus, just build the planes faster? The answer lies deep in a fragile global supply chain. The number one problem is an engine bottleneck. Airframe manufacturing is actually outpacing engine production. As a result, new, completed aircraft are being parked, literally sitting idle in the desert, because they are waiting for their engines to arrive. Compounding this are certification delays. Regulatory approval for new models like the Boeing 777X, which used to take 12 to 24 months, is now stretching out to 4 or even 5 years. Finally, the entire system is choked by labor shortages, especially for skilled technicians in engine and component manufacturing, and by geopolitical friction. Tariffs on essential materials like metals and electronics have worsened supply bottlenecks and made the whole process more expensive and unstable. What is the conclusion? The truth is, the global airline industry is operating on a political and financial knife edge. The new aircraft that are supposed to drive growth, efficiency, and sustainability are stuck in a nearly 7-year holding pattern. This is not a temporary setback. It's a structural imbalance where demand for travel will outstrip the ability to supply it for the foreseeable future. The only way airlines can survive this $11 billion crisis is by pushing those massive new costs onto the consumer. What do you think? Have you noticed the fleet getting older or tickets getting more expensive? Let me know your thoughts on this supply chain disaster in the comments below. If you found this breakdown insightful, please smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the global economy, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Until next time, safe travels and keep an eye on the skies.